we should be going here. All right, we are live and hopefully the audio is working. Give me just 1 second here to check in and make certain that everything is where it needs to be. Unfortunately, at this point, we do have some issues taking place in the form of, again, getting ready to go on some of this stuff. So as of right now, if you are just joining us, bear with me for just 1 second and we'll get things where they need to be for right now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek, keeping you updated excuse me, with what's going on in and around the area for tonight. We are coming to you live from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. And again, for this evening, we again have the potential for maybe a shower out there, but really not much more than that, and that's going to do it for the chances of rain for tonight. So there's really just not that much left going on. Now we do see, again, the potential for more rainfall coming up over the course of the next several days. So if you have any plans for outdoors, you are going to have to take that into account, again, for more potential of rainfall out there for tonight. Again, not that much going on. Next several days, again, this is early August, so it could be exceptionally on the hot side out there, but it's not at this point. So definitely some good news where that is concerned. So hopefully, again, staying that direction for now. One last check here. Okay, so far so good. Pardon me. This is what happens when you are a host and camera and audio and. So just want to make sure that everything is where it needs to be on here. We're coming to you live again from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is Weather Overtime, our online video weather blog, keeping you updated with what's going on. If you notice between the YouTube camera and the Twitch camera, there are some subtle differences going on thanks to a computer problem. Not going to say what it was because honestly we just don't know. As of right now, we are rebuilding our OBS software portfolio and all the graphics that go into it. So it's a little bit more simple layout for Twitch than it is on the YouTube channel that you're watching on this camera over here. Got two cameras at once going between the two of these ones. And the one thing you may notice is we're waiting on word for a sponsor. So until we get word of that official sponsor for Weather Overtime from the News 12 sales staff, I want to welcome in our exclusively unofficial sponsor, Chloe's Giant Cookies from back in around Memphis, Germantown, Tennessee. If you'd like to visit her website and get some of these amazing compact disc-sized cookies, featuring them on here because the Chloe of Chloe's Giant Cookies, again, if you're watching on YouTube, that's who I'm talking about. On Twitch, haven't got it installed just yet. The Chloe's Giant Cookies at chloesgiantcookies.com. My former producer, Chloe Sexton, is the Chloe of that Chloe's Cookie Company, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of make certain that we have the sponsor listed here, at least on YouTube anyway, for when we get a paying sponsor, which apparently is inevitable at some point. Would love to have that sponsor on board, but until then, giving some free advertising to a very sharp lady who was my former producer at our last TV station, and unfortunately she got treated absolutely horribly by the management there and started up her own cookie company with her husband Tyler and all of her family getting together for these amazing cookies. So that is our officially sponsored by sponsorship for the Weather Overtime page. If you'd like to frequent her store, some amazing cookies. The Tipsy George is my absolute favorite if you haven't had a chance to try that one at some point in time. All right, so enough about sponsors. Let's go ahead and get into what's going on out there. We'll start off with something a little bit more extracurricular at this time from our photo files. Thanks a lot to News 12 viewer Kristen Chavez from Englewood for a view of the Indian boundary area. I've never been here before. It looks decently peaceful. No idea where exactly this is in relation to the Chattanooga area, but thank you again, Kristen Chavez from Englewood, for a beautiful beach view going on there. If you have weather windows to share pictures in and around the area or otherwise, doesn't matter which hemisphere, we'll take what we can get. Go ahead and send them in to us at, again, wdef.com/photos. You can email them to us. You can also drop them to our social media pages in the comments section. So go ahead and send those in there. We'd be glad to take a look and see what it is that you are seeing out there. Almanac page for today, we did not make the 90s. We barely made the 80s, and that for August is a very nice thing to be able to say. Low of 68, just below normal, so below normal on all the temperatures. That's very nice to say for early August. And again, where it could be, that's the amazing thing. We're still behind by a fraction of an inch. We managed to pick up some decent amounts of rain over the last several days, so that really dropped our nearly 5-inch deficit for August pretty nicely into where we see again some nicer, or for July, I should say, excuse me, for August and the rest of 2025. We still have that deficit that we've picked up, that 1 foot deficit from around May, the wettest May that we have ever had around here, and we still have a 4-inch plus deficit here. So looking a lot nicer out there where it comes to the amount of precipitation that we have received out across the area. Going into tomorrow, if you're going to be out on the back nine, definitely want to watch out for the possibility of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Doesn't look like much. We'll talk about the percentages in just a little bit, but in the meantime, definitely want to make certain that you are, if you are out on the golf course, to make sure that you are prepared for, again, the potential for some pretty heavy amounts of sunshine out there mixed in with the cloud cover, so watch out for that if you're going to be out and about. We did have some showers down into the area close to and around Atlanta. We do still have a few more scattered showers taking place down that direction south of the Chattanooga area, right along and on either side of I-75 at this point. So we are picking up again some decent amounts of very light showers. Now into Fannin and Gilmer counties in Georgia. These two counties in the News 12 viewing area are under a flood watch until 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. That's Wednesday. So for tonight, a few speckles of showers, but that's going to be about it. Not seeing much of anything else at this time where it comes to anything involving showers or thunderstorms. So no severe weather to be seen, and no tropical weather. Tropical moisture, yes. Tropical weather, no. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a little bit to show you more about what's happening. And the tropics getting decently active all of a sudden. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. From the area into and around the News 12 studios, around the area we do have, again, some pretty good amounts of clouds, but we do not have anything coming down in the way of rain at Island Cove, so we don't have anything really taking place here. All these cameras are available on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network. Downtown Chattanooga, from the top of the EPB building, looking again at the Bailey's Heating and Air camera, showing Old Glory catching a bit of a southerly breeze there. I-24 traffic on the News 12 Tower Cam. This camera also sponsorless, so if you'd like to sponsor this camera, please get in contact with our sales department. We'd love to have you on board and taking a look at being a sponsor with News 12. We'd love to have you on board there. Looking back across the Tennessee River toward downtown, the footbridge shut off with the lights as the year-plus long refurbishment repair job continues on course there. So a nice view from the North Shore looking around. And finally, a look from the area into and around I-24. Construction work continues, so we have a lot of lanes closed from 75 north to 24 west, 24 east to 75 north. That's moving along well, and heading towards 75 south. That also appears to be going along quite nicely at this time. Temperatures at close to the top, well, right at the top of the hour. It is 10 o'clock Eastern, 76 degrees at this time. So a beautiful evening in the 70s. Dew point temperatures are up there. Heat index by a degree, so there's not that much going on there, but a beautiful evening overall. And again, for early August, this is no problem whatsoever with these areas of temperatures that we have seen across the region for the last couple of days. It is very nice to have that out there. We'll get back to our Chattanooga Zoo web camera here in just a little bit. Meanwhile, again, we don't have much going on across the area. We do have, again, a decent amount of tropical moisture sitting over the area from the Gulf and the Atlantic. We have Dexter out into and around the western Atlantic. This again heading up to the north. We'll talk about the tropics coming up here relatively soon. Low temperatures tonight back into the very pleasant territory. Some parts of the Appalachians should be back in the lower 60s. River Valley back toward the Cumberland Plateau, North Georgia, Northeast Alabama will probably be looking at temperatures back into the mid to high 60s. So comfortable and not where they were just about a week or so ago. Now we will be looking for warmer temperatures coming up into the next several days, stair-stepping our way upwards, but we are not at this time looking for anything in the way of blazing hot, record high, triple-digit temperatures. Way below that. It's going to be a little warmer tomorrow, just back in the high 80s if we get enough sunshine. So we may pick up a little bit of activity there, but not by too much. Add to that, the Climate Prediction Center is showing again in the next several days some warmer weather, again, just getting a little bit gradually warmer here. Above normal, yes, but only just. And then the really hot weather is going to be back into around the hill country of Texas, New Mexico, and especially, this is going to be very uncomfortable for this area of the country, hotter temperatures for New England, including most of Maine. That is some pretty roasty weather up there for them at this time of the year, so looking again at some very hot conditions. We are also looking at the potential of some increased amounts of rainfall, not just for the next few days, at least taking us into mid-month. If the medium range forecast is correct from the Climate Prediction Center, we should be looking at the potential of a lot more rainfall affecting the South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama coastlines areas into the next, what's left of August, the next several days there, and into early September. The latest 30-day forecast showing those numbers heading upward. So we could be looking at some pretty soggy conditions out across most of the area. We'll be definitely keeping our eyes on that, so definitely want to stay tuned to News 12 for more there. Chattanooga Zoo webcam, again, available on our EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network at WDEF.com/weather if you'd like to check in there. We do have chances of showers and thunderstorms every single day for the next several days, so outdoor activities, you're going to have to watch that very carefully to see what is coming our direction there, and that also, again, could lead to some problems with vacation Bible school, athletic practices, your outdoor golf game, anything like that. Definitely want to pay attention. Now, tomorrow we're only talking about a 20% chance, but that increases to a 40 to 50% steady chance through the first full week of August, second weekend of August, and into next week. We might aim for 90 coming up on Sunday, but it doesn't really look like too much out there, and that again is where we see more of the problem coming up again for portions of the area. So that in and of itself could be a bit of an issue, but again, hot temperatures, baking, record-breaking hot temperatures, that is not happening this time around. So very good news on that. Hopefully, again, it stays that way, and we'll keep you updated on this as we go throughout the course of the next several days. So definitely want to stay tuned there. Going to the tropics, this is very important to take a look at. We don't have anything over us except for tropical moisture, which is normal at this time of the year. We've got Dexter spinning away out into the North Atlantic, affecting the Canadian Maritimes, back up toward far eastern Canada. But then we have two systems going on here. This couple of systems are definitely worth watching. The first one, again, over portions of the East Coast states. And let me just verify that nothing has changed here. Okay, 10%, 40%, 0%, 50%. Okay, so nothing has changed since the last update from the National Hurricane Center. I want to take a look in here to this one first, to where we see, again, this particular system here over the East Coast. Now, this one, again, it doesn't look like much on the satellite picture, but this is where the National Hurricane Center is showing the best potential for something coming close to the East Coast, following in Dexter's footsteps. So this could be the E-named storm of the year. We'll see what happens. That'll be the fifth storm there. Meanwhile, farther out into the Atlantic, we've got, again, another system taking place that is now just leaving Africa several thousand miles away from the United States. But this one also stands a potential of 50% possibility of developing and moving into the mid-Atlantic, hopefully again curving up and toward the northeast, and hopefully again that won't be too much of a problem. But once again, if you're going to be doing anything with this season going on, the Gulf, the Caribbean, the Atlantic, anything like that, catching a cruise, beach vacation, anything like that, you're going to want to watch what these systems are doing. We're starting to see a bit of a ramp up taking place. We've got one definite and two potential systems, so that's three going on for right now. Now, the other thing to take a look at is the area beyond that from the National Hurricane Center. Excuse me, taking a look at the second week out, going through the middle part of the month, we start to see from the West African Sahel area into the mid-Atlantic, just east of the Leeward Islands, a 40% possible uptick in development of tropical weather. Now, again, that's going to be heading our direction, but there's no guarantee of this happening. It's just this is the potential, according to what the climatology of this hurricane season and this area of the world has been giving us in statistical data. It drops down to a 20% above normal possibility as we go toward the end of the month. But remember, that's also the time when this hurricane season begins to peak around early September. So this could be an indication that this area of the country over in here could be, again, experiencing some bigger storms coming up. This happens cyclically to where you have a downturn and then an upturn once again, and then another downturn. This is the way hurricane seasons have a tendency of going. So if this happens, we may be looking at some much more active weather coming our way, not only again for just into the next few days and weeks, but also into the end of the month. So this really means that if you're heading toward the beach or the ocean or anything else, you need to be paying attention. You need to be weather aware whenever you are going anywhere close to the beach at this time, because your safety may depend on it. And especially here in the next couple of weeks, if anything develops here, heads into the Gulf, through the Caribbean, up around the Bahamas, the east coast of the United States, you do not want to be heading into an area you may have to turn around and head right back out of. So always important to be weather aware. Check the forecast and make sure that you are paying attention to what is going on and what could be happening over the course of the next several days and weeks, for that matter. So stay tuned again for more on that. We will definitely help keep you advised on there. So again, stay tuned for more with News 12. That'll do it for tonight. I think pretty much we are, again, just keeping an eye on the current situation out across much of the area for tonight, and of course with the end of summer, the beginning of school coming up. We want to make certain that everybody is in fact paying attention to what's going on with the weather. Good luck to all the teachers, the administrators, the students. A lot of schools start tomorrow and also again through the rest of the week. So definitely, again, want to make certain you're paying attention to the crossing areas, the speed limits. Remember, those school speed limits are back in effect, so get your foot off the accelerator and be prepared to brake, especially with kids darting in between vehicles. Definitely time to be paying attention to that, if at all possible. Questions, concerns, you want to ask about being a sponsor on here officially, go ahead and contact us again at Onek@WDEF.com. You can reach me again on the website. Our website down at the bottom there is WDEF.com/weather. If you'd like to check in and see what's going on, ask a question. If you have a story idea, please get those sent in to us. As it gets warmer out there, please remember to definitely stay hydrated. You definitely want to make certain to pay attention to what your body is telling you, and especially with any outdoor athletic camps, two-a-days, whatever else is going on, please make certain that you are paying close attention to your health, because it is still pretty steamy out there and hard to sweat with all that extra moisture just hanging around the atmosphere. So pay attention to that. We'll have more on the forecast tonight on News 12 at 11, and also throughout the rest of the week. Chip Chapman will be back with your forecast coming up bright and early on Wednesday morning, peak of the week tomorrow. I took a day off yesterday, so I'm about a day behind. So this is Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. Just want to make certain I'm on there for that. All right, that should do it for tonight, live and direct. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Thanks for joining us for Weather Overtime for Tuesday, the 5th of August. And stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online at WDEF.com/weather. Talk to you tomorrow.